What makes the 2013 report unique is that we only talk to the ED physician, and eliminating the IT perspective's voice and the administration's voice, you're going to get some different results as you would expect. As you look at physician-only scoring, WellSoft scores #1, and among the other best of breeds. You can also see that the IT score is not much different. IT is also relatively happy with those best of breed systems. As you look at the camp of enterprise, you can see that that's where you really start to see some big gaps in performance from those the physicians and the IT. It's always been known that if you were to go talk to an ED physician, most of the time they're going to say that a best of breed performs better than an enterprise. This was the very first time that instead of it being a general feel or a concept in the industry, we were actually able to put a percentage on that gap. And physicians using best of breed systems rated their systems and their experience 59% higher in overall performance score over enterprise.
Let's take a look at some of the specific vendors. Obviously, we're comparing best of breed to some of the specialty products in the market. Tell us a little bit about what some of the findings were and what some of the surprises were to you as we collected some of the data.
Yeah, the very first thing that I want to touch on is the difference in scoring between IT and administration and ED physician. You can see that best of breed, there's not that much of a gap. The average gap between those two camps and their scoring is 1.35. And as you look at the other camp of vendors, the enterprise vendors, the average gap is 22.4. But that's one of the biggest things is to take a look at those gaps and really ask, as this industry is moving towards an integrated enterprise system, really what are the effects that that's having on the ED physician's experience with patients? We asked the simple question of, is your system's interoperability meeting your needs in terms of delivering patient care in the ED? 62.4% said yes. And even looking at a lot of the best of breeds, majority of the physicians that we asked using their system said, yes, my system is meeting my interoperability needs. Epic was the one that scored the highest in this area in terms of physicians saying, absolutely, yes, it does meet my needs. Now, the interesting point here is it's a different story when you're talking about other physicians, whether they be hospitalists or whether they be the primary care physician of the patient, getting what the ED physician documented and put in the notes and that documentation for the encounter, getting that back out to other areas is a different question. And that's where Epic and Cerner and some of the integrated vendors really came out. From an ED physician's perspective, they want something that's easy to use, that's able to produce a legible note at the end of the encounter, that doesn't take more time than needed, and really everyone states the quickest way to document an encounter in the ED is on paper. So being able to match that, but also having the benefits of going electronic is really where the gold pot is for these vendors. What hurts documentation, going through the documentation of an EDIS, is it's cumbersome. And that one word, if we were to search for that one word in the report, cumbersome and clunky come up a ton.
Well, I like this slide a lot because it does simply reflect really the overall experience. Let me go to the top. What helps? You find the people who are most happy with the EDIS systems are those that have modified the templates to their own practice and standard practice. You see the biggest smiles on their faces. Let me show you my template. They're very proud of them. On the bottom, and what doesn't work, the cumbersome nature, the constant have to log in and again because of passwords, too many clicks. Let me just tell you, if you had, let's say, 60 clicks per patient encounter, if you saw 40 to 50 patients on a shift, that adds up to hours of clicking at the end of a shift to complete your notes. And that decreases productivity, increases frustration and fatigue, and possible error rates. I think this slide is telling, and if you look to the left there, the slide, the things that work well for physicians are order sets, for instance, where instead of writing 10 or 15 orders, you have your order set that's been reviewed, and you think, this is how I want to approach an abdominal pain, possible appendicitis, let's say, as an example. Where you can, one click, you can have your order set to what you want done for that. And that would save time. But if you look to the right there, those are where you have to have multiple clicks and access points to get things done that can really clog up the work, so to speak.
There are some big differences as you look at the vendors and as you look at the performance scores. You know, you have Pisces, T-System, Wellsoft, and MedHost, the best of breeds, where they can focus all of their effort in making sure, to the best of their ability, their systems are performing well in those 3 areas previously mentioned. And then you look at the other 4, Cerner, Epic, Allscripts, and Meditech, and that's where you can see where a couple of concerns start to creep up. Is it because of alert fatigue, where the ED physician simply ignores the alerts that are being presented to him on the computer screen? So whether they're valid alerts or whether it was a misfire, either way, alert fatigue is becoming an extreme concern in the industry.